Have you ever had a coach tell you something that just didn't sit right? Maybe at the time it sounded like advice, but deep down it felt like a warning sign, or worse, like a lid being put on your potential. For me, it was actually this: the bigger you get, the more you'll get sued. That moment stuck with me. And for a while, I believed it. I shaped it as truth. It actually happened. But here's what I know now: that belief, it came from scarcity, not abundance, from fear, not faith, from playing small, not playing big. And what it really showed me was something different and something deeper, something every salon owner needs to understand. My coach, Jane, one of our coaches, Jane, helped us to understand this, and it's called the tall poppy syndrome. Think about this. In a field of poppies, if one grows taller than the rest, it's the first one to get noticed and the first one to get cut down. Let me show you what this actually looks like. So, here's a field of poppies behind me. So pretty. Everyone's growing. They're all about the same, comfortable, familiar, aligned. But then one poppy grows just a little bit taller. It invested in growth. It showed up consistently. It took risk. And what happens? It gets noticed. It gets judged. It gets cut down. Not because it's wrong, but because it stood out. Now, watch this. It gets cut down. So if you think about it, bam, it's gone. Then another. And so when you think about that, when we create a culture where we support tall poppies, we all rise. We create new height. We expand the field. Tall poppies aren't the problem, they're the future. Isn't that so interesting that they're the future when you think about it? In the beauty industry, especially in salons, this shows up more than we talk about. And a lot of times it's very subtle. Let's say you raise your prices and someone says, she's gotten greedy. Or you open a second location, they say, she's forgotten where she came from. Or you post a win and suddenly your DMs go silent. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because your growth reflects back to what someone else hasn't stepped into yet. That's not on you. That's the tall poppy syndrome. And let's go even deeper for a second. Think about this. There are three common fears salon owners face when they start rising. The first one is, what if I outgrow my team? The truth is, you might. But your opportunity isn't to stay small so everyone can keep up. Your job is to create the kind of growth that brings the right people with you. Second, you might think, they'll think I'm just about the money. I'm making all the money. Money doesn't make you selfish, it makes you stable. It allows you to serve at a higher level with margin, not burnout. And the third thing is that a belief a lot of salon owners look at is, what if I fail in front of everyone? Listen up. You might. But failure in motion still moves you forward. And failing forward builds wisdom. Failing small and silent, that truly just keeps you stuck. So, how do you stay standing tall even when people try to cut you down? And here's what I learned is number one, anchor to your mission, not your mood. Your feelings are fleeting. Your vision is what keeps you grounded. And number two, surround yourself with other tall poppies, just like this one. If the people around you resent your growth, it's time to plant yourself in a new field. Find people who normalize success, who celebrate wins, who expect elevation. And number 3, expect resistance and plan for it. I learned something from the powerful Myron Golden one time. He said, one of the most intentional business minds I know, and he says this, he says, disruption comes with intention. So if you're going to disrupt, that might be like raising your prices, hire boldly, or scale your brand, do it on purpose. Don't just disrupt for attention. Disrupt with clarity, disrupt with systems, disrupt with service. And when that coach told me I'd get sued if I grew too big, I adapted that belief. But eventually, I chose to reshape it. And now I say this instead. I look at it from the point of view is the bigger I grow, the more structure I build, the more protection I create, and the more people I can serve. That's what leadership looks like. It's not shrinking, but standing tall on purpose. So let me ask you this question. Where are you shrinking right now just to keep others comfortable? What dream have you downplayed, postponed, or put on hold just to avoid being too much? Drop it in the comments, or better yet, send this to another salon owner who needs this message. And if you're ready for a space that celebrates your growth, even when, something goes sideways or the pressure feels heavy, text us at, the text will be in our description. So give us a text at that number, text the word coach, and we will send you a message and see how we can support you. It's time to connect. Let's lead boldly, and let's make tall poppies the new standard, because shrinking helps no one. But your courage, that might just help everyone. Disruption doesn't happen by accident. It happens with intention. So let's make yours count. Maybe you've been listening to people who mean well, but think small. And if you're ready to change the narrative to grow and lead and live from abundance, again, text us that word coach to 469-283-5590, and let's connect. It's time you had someone in your corner who believes in your future more than your fears. All right. And if you love this video, subscribe for more, and we'll see you soon.